Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to Pub Quiz Streams. I'm Alex.
And I'm Dave.
Oh, we got our names right. That's always a good start, isn't it?
One of the easier questions this week.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one actually this week.
But it is a tough quiz. There's also not many of you playing. There's about 30 teams at the most. So who knows? Maybe we'll see a different winner.
You never know, do you? You never
Or
know.
maybe the 4-4 break will be between Deportivo and Independiente will be broken.
Well, I think they've admitted their drinking problem now, so we're going to have to come up with a new acronym for them soon. But you had a good week, Dave?
No. A shocker, mate. It's been a shocker. I've actually been working flat out this week, and I've still got a weekend to do it to go. But no, there's a bit of a break for it. Bit of something fun to do with the computer for a change.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll have a good one next week, maybe. But until then, let's top the week out in style, of course, by playing the quiz. So, do you want to tell our teams how it works for anyone that is new here?
Yeah. If you're new here, you'll need to hit the big green button or the little blue strip now and register yourself a team. Give us just your names and set yourself a secret. You might already be logged in. If you're not, the website will now ask you to log in. So pick your team out of the list. You can now type for it and search for it as well. And type in that secret you set when you registered. Once you've logged in, that's it. You stay logged in for the whole quiz. It's like any other website on the internet.
It's good, that, isn't it? Website.
Yeah. So the first round is a picture round. So we put that up there, so you've got a bit of time to have a look through our slightly scrambled faces. Get logged in. We're going to give you about 10 minutes to get these in. Get logged in. Get your team on Zoom, FaceApp, WhatsApp, or whatever it is.
Yep. TikTok.
TikTok. I don't think TikTok's a video thing. Right? If anyone's following the Pub Quiz Streams TikTok account,
don't. I feel like this whole lockdown has made me, turn into a middle-aged man, in the sense, not just the hairstyle, but also I can't say TikTok like non-ironically, so I just keep
on those there TikToks those kids are on.
Oh no, I keep calling it the Toctics. And I'm like, oh, you seen this Toctic? I'm like, oh God, I've turned into, I don't know, what I was always destined to become, I suppose. So that you've got a couple of minutes, we'll kick off the quiz good and proper.
If there are any problems, if you want to, you can't log in or you've forgotten your secret or something, drop us an email. We're hello@sociallydistant.pub, or you can click on the link to the quiz on Twitter and send us a tweet. We'll get back to you there.
Exactly. And as a bit of a hint, if you need it for these picture quiz, all of the answers, the people in them share the same first name. That might actually be useful when you're trying to work out who Jeff Bezos is, but
which one's Jeff Bezos?
You know which one's Jeff Bezos.
It's not the right answer.
It's not.
I struggled with these, and then he sent me number 2, and I stopped trying.
So good luck. We'll see you in a couple of minutes and start the quiz off properly. Like I said, any problems, give us a message at hello@sociallydistant.pub. Another 5 minutes to get those answers in. 5 more minutes. One minute left before we start the quiz. And welcome back. So, nice to see the people struggling a little bit with that first round.
It was. There were some really good answers there. I won't give away the correct answer, but the one that was clearly a dog, somebody put Babe the Pig and Babe the Ruth. It's brilliant. There's a point to someone who put David Cameron brackets fucked a pig. It wasn't Babe the Pig.
Yeah, I've also just seen a cracking one for the first question of two men put together of Mary Kate Olsen and Ashley Olsen. I really doubt that's what they would look like if they were merged together. But there you go. There you go. So, yeah, I think it's good in time that we got on with the quiz proper, as it were, Dave.
Can I trust you to mark those answers?
Oh, go on then.
Go on. Right, we'll start the round. We'll start the quiz off, I should say, with the first round, which I have forgotten what I called it. I've also closed the tab with the questions in. There you go. Science and some technology. So, start you off. Question one of round two. I'm not even drunk yet. Which US president created NASA? So, what the name of the US president that created NASA, the space agency? So, round two, question one. Which US president created NASA? Not like with his hands. I think he just asked for it and other people did it. Round two, question two. Which bird has the Latin name Parus major? Which bird has the Latin official sciencey name Parus major? P-A-R-U-S-M-A-J-O-R. Like, are you doing the clicky thing next to my head? Okay. Question three. The inventors of the fax machine, the computer, and the World Wide Web, three different people, all share what nationality? So the inventors of the fax machine, the computer, and the World Wide Web, what nationality are those three people? Question number four. Which animal does the Firefox browser use as its icon or logo? So those of you that are looking at us on the Firefox browser right now, you can have a look in the icon in the corner. Which animal is that in the icon? I can tell you there are currently 17 people looking at our website through Firefox. Question number five. What does a Geiger counter measure? So nice and simple. What does a Geiger counter measure? Question number six. When snails have sex with each other, how long does it take? Is it 12 seconds, 12 minutes, or 12 hours? So when a mummy snail and a daddy snail love each other very much, how long do they fuck for? If you're interested in that kind of question, next week, I think now's a good time to announce we'll be doing a
dirty quiz.
A dirty quiz. And there will be an entire round on sex in the animal kingdom. So that's like, when snails have sex, how long does it take? Is it 12 seconds, 12 minutes, or 12 hours? Question number seven. What is the largest type of penguin? I think breed probably. What is the largest breed of penguin? Question number 8. The Wright brothers first invented or demonstrated powered flight in 1903. What are their first names? So in 1903, the Wright brothers invented powered flight. What are the Wright brothers' first names? You want them both. Question number 9. Another inventor, Percy Spencer. He invented a popular kitchen appliance. The microwave oven, the electric toaster, or the refrigerator? So which popular kitchen appliance did Percy Spencer invent? Was it the microwave, the electric toaster, or the refrigerator? And last question for round 2. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak famously formed Apple, but who was Bill Gates' partner in crime when he founded Microsoft? So question 10. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak famously partnered together to form Apple, but who partnered with Bill Gates when they founded Microsoft? So I'll run through them all one more time. Question 1, which US president created NASA? Question 2, which bird has the Latin name Parus major? Question 3, the inventors of the fax machine, the computer, and the World Wide Web all share which nationality? Question 4, which animal does the Firefox web browser use as its icon? Question 5, what does a Geiger counter measure? Question number 6, when snails have sweet, sweet love, how long does the sweet, sweet love take? Is it 12 minutes, 12 seconds, 12 minutes, or 12 hours? Question 7, what is the largest breed of penguin? Question number 8, the Wright brothers first invented powered flight in 1903. What are their first names? Question number 9, Percy Spencer invented which kitchen appliance? Was it the microwave oven, the electric toaster, or the refrigerator? And question number 10, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak famously formed Apple, but who was Bill Gates' partner in crime when he founded Microsoft? So we'll give you a few minutes to get those in. I can see that we've got all of the first round. The picture round has been marked. There are a lot of 10 out of 10s there, so it's looking quite a competitive one.
Sorry, I completely forgot that I actually had to do any quizzing then.
I've lost everything. I'm trying to look at the score and everything. As always, if you want to see what the correct answers to those hideous faces were in some cases, then you can click on your score at the top of the page. You can then see what you put, what the correct answer was. In some cases, they're back to front, so you might it might not match up, but you'll see who it was.
Yeah.
What percentage of people got that question right, though those numbers are a bit off again. And also, some of them got some fun facts on for the rest of the quiz.
Yeah, not many people got Danny Dyer in his naked buttocks coming out of the sofa.
You can also peek at other people's either by clicking their link on the leaderboard, or you can have a look at your score and pick their name from the drop-down box if you click on peek.
Simple as that. We'll give you a couple of minutes to get all of those questions in, and then we'll be back with round 3 once we've got them marked. See you in a bit.
And you've now got about 30 seconds, a minute should be kind, to get those answers in. We'll start marking them now for you.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a good night so far. Some good answers through at the moment, but we are going to move straight on to round 3. Round 3 is a connections round. So we've done these before. There are 9 proper questions. And the 10th question, we will be asking you to tell us what the connection is between the previous 9 answers. Think of it as a really low budget shit version of Only Connect. With a bit more guidance involved. So, without further ado, here is question number 1. Which Irish rock band shares its name with an American spy plane? That's question 1. Which Irish rock band shares its name with an American spy plane? Might help if you can see the question. Question number 2. Which American actor does Brian Sevilla take his stage name from when appearing in films made for the naughty people over the age of 18? That's question 2. Which American actor does Brian Sevilla take his stage name from when appearing in films made for naughty people over the age of 18? And if you're a naughty person over the age of 18, make sure you join us next week for Pub Quiz Streams After Dark 2. Question number 3. Which US president kept a sign on his desk saying, "The buck stops here"? That's question 2. Which US president kept a sign on his desk saying, "The buck stops here"? Question 4. What was the first artificial satellite of Earth? It's question 4. What was the first artificial satellite of the Earth? And just looking for a nod from Dave to see whether he's ready or whether he's hard at work, busying some busy things. He's ready. So here we go, over to question number 5.
Question number 5. It's one I hope I'd have to make you read. Following on from Valentina Tereshkova and Svetlana Savitskaya, who became the first American woman to go into space? So following on from Valentina Tereshkova and Svetlana Savitskaya, probably, who became the first American woman to go into space? And we do know one marking problem with the Wright brothers' names. We've fixed that. Don't worry about it. Question number 6. Which pope was appointed in the year 757? Can't say remember it, but which pope was appointed in 757? Question number 7, a proper one here. What does Wikipedia describe as a snack food made out of potatoes and corn in the shape of a short, hollow cylinders? So what does Wikipedia describe as a snack food made out of potatoes and corn in the shape of short, hollow cylinders?
Question number 8. The main airport of Paris is named after which political leader? That's question number 8. The main airport of Paris is named after which political leader? Question number 9. Which song by Bill Haley and the Comets reportedly inspired David Gilmour of Pink Floyd to first pick up a guitar? That's question 9. Which song by Bill Haley and the Comets reportedly inspired David Gilmour of Pink Floyd to first pick up the guitar?
And then, of course, question number 10, we want the connection between the last 9 answers you have. So what links those together? We'll run through them quickly one more time. Question number 1, which Irish rock band shares its name with an American spy plane? Question number 2, which American actor does Brian Sevilla take his stage name from, when appearing in films made for naughty people over the age of 18? Question number 3, which US president kept a sign on his desk saying "The buck stops here"? Question number 4, what was the first artificial satellite of Earth? Number 5, following on from Valentina Tereshkova and Svetlana Savitskaya, who became the first American woman in space? Question number 6, which pope was appointed in 757 or 757? We will not accept just the pope. Question number 7, what does Wikipedia describe as a snack food made out of potatoes and corn in the shape of short, hollow cylinders? Question number 8, the main airport of Paris is named after which political leader? Question number 9, which song by Bill Haley and the Comets reportedly inspired David Gilmour of Pink Floyd to first pick up a guitar? And number 10 is the connection between all 9 of those.
So pretty simple, really, if you ask me, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I'm basically Victoria Coren Mitchell.
I think... So I know for a fact that one person has already got the connection between this. I think it's one of those rounds where you're either going to get the connection or you're not going to get the connection, and then you're going to shoot yourself after for being like, oh, it would annoy me if I didn't get it. It would really annoy me if I didn't get it. But we'll see what the people come up with. As always, we're going to take a short break now where we'll mark the questions. Do send us any problems that you're having as well. hello@sociallydistant.pub, or drop us a tweet and we can see them there. And we'll be back shortly with another picture round. So we'll tell you when that's live. See you in a bit.
This time it's lady.
Well, if you heard that, then you'll know that the picture quiz is now live. One team already got their answers in, but they got some of them wrong. So just shows if you rush, you don't get any extra points here. Click on the tab for round 4 and you should be able to see the picture quiz.
And you've got 2 minutes to send us in the names of these slightly broken ladies. 2-minute warning.
Last call for pitch quiz answers, 1 minute before we close it off. Welcome back. Thank you all for getting those answers in so promptly, as always. We're going to move on to round 5 now. So if you haven't already, click that round 5 tab. That's probably somewhere. I don't know where it is, so I don't know where your screens are. And we'll move on to round 5 now. Round 5. I'm taking the lead on this one because it's another one of my favourite rounds. It's another music round, but hopefully it will be easier than some of the others. Maybe. No promises here. Question number 1. Peter Gabriel released an album in 2010 comprised entirely of reciprocal cover songs where each artist he covered one of his songs in return. Sort of. But what was the album called? That's question number 1. Peter Gabriel released an album in 2010 comprised entirely of reciprocal cover songs where each artist he covered one of his songs in return. There were a few that didn't participate, but don't be pedantic. But what was the album called? Question number 2. Which glam group had number 1 hits with Get It On, Telegram Sam, and Hot Love? That's question 2. Which glam group had number 1 hits with Get It On, Telegram Sam, and Hot Love? Question number 3. Kimberly Walsh, Gareth Gates, and Kiki D all hail from which Yorkshire city? That's question 3. Kimberly Walsh, Gareth Gates, and Kiki D all hail from which Yorkshire city? Question number 4. Who designed the artwork for the Velvet Underground's debut album? That's question 4. Who designed the artwork for the Velvet Underground's debut album? Question 5. John, Paul, Tina and Bradley were all popes. No, they weren't. John, Paul, Tina and Bradley were members of which pop group? That's question 5. John, Paul, Tina and Bradley were members of which pop group? Of course it is the Beatles. Question number 6. The soundtrack to which series of films featured vocal performances by Annie Lennox, Enya and Billy Boyd? That's question 6. The soundtrack to which series of films featured vocal performances by Annie Lennox, Enya and Billy Boyd? And over to you, Dave.
Don't worry if those are a bit hard. I'd like to write all these questions, and I've got the answers here, and I can tell you, fucking hard. Question number 7.
These are easy.
If you're you, yeah. There's a thing we get every time we do a quiz. The music round is always the normally the most complained about in the answers. One team went as far as to just send in, these are too hard for all 10 once. And they weren't the worst performers.
Yeah, and that's the kind of dedication that I'm looking for with the answers.
So, question number 7 in your obscure and complicated music round. Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of which US rock band? That's Eddie Vedder. It's on the screen. Eddie, Vedder, is the lead singer of which US rock band? Question number 8. Which musical group that consists of Swiss, Spanish, American and French singers has a name that translates as Divine Performer? So that's question number 8. Which musical group consisting of Swiss, Spanish, American and French singers has a name that translates as Divine Performer?
See, completely straightforward, Dave. Don't know what you're Yeah. Well, question number 9. Which group famously began their first music video with the phrase, "We are blank, don't believe the hype"? That's question 9. Which group famously began their first music video with the phrase, "We are blank, don't believe the hype"? Blank is, as you might have guessed, the name of the group. And finally, question number 10. Who released the albums Blood on the Tracks and Bringing It All Back Home? That's question 10. Who released the albums Blood on the Tracks and Bringing It All Back Home? Go run through those questions one more time. As always, question number 1. In 2010, Peter Gabriel released an album comprised entirely of cover songs. The artist covered one of his songs in return, but what was the album called? Question number 2. Which glam group had number 1 hits with Get It On, Telegram Sam and Hot Love? Question 3. Kimberly Walsh, Gareth Gates and Kiki D all hail from which Yorkshire city? Question 4. Who designed the artwork for the Velvet Underground's debut album? Question 5. John, Paul, Tina and Bradley, as well as being popes, were all members of which pop group? Question 6. The soundtrack to which series of films features vocal performances by Annie Lennox, Enya and Billy Boyd? Question 7. Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of which US rock band? Question number 8. Which musical group consisting of Swiss, Spanish, American, French singers has a name that translates as Divine Performer? Question number 9. Which group famously began their first music video with the phrase, "We are don't believe the hype"? And question number 10. Who released the albums Blood on the Tracks and Bringing It All Back Home? Now, you know the drill by now. We're going to take a short break while we mark the answers. So you've got about 1 minute to get those answers in before we start marking. And then we'll be back with what's going to be our final round of the night. The next round is tricky. The next round is really tricky. So get those thinking caps on, get your drinks topped up, and we'll see you in a bit. And welcome back. It's going quite quickly tonight, Dave, isn't it? Just like every night for
There's
you.
less of you to mark. It's, nice quiet evening, but let's have a look at the leaderboard. Ooh, it's nice and tight.
Ooh. Again, just like every night for you.
I know. So there's one team that are just eking out a lead. That's Quentin Quarantino, now on 48. Close
high.
second.
Very high
Okay,
score.
fine. I may have a drinking problem, but at least I'm social distancing. They're on 47. Then there are 1, 2, 3 teams on 46, 2 points off the lead. Another 4 teams on 45. So anybody could still take it, and perhaps most concerningly for us, we could still have a tie break.
Yeah, we don't like tie breaks.
No,
It stresses us out. Also,
absolute nightmare.
for those of you that are looking at the Your Answers page, is that what it's called, Dave? What's it called? The report card.
Your score, your answer,
Your
yeah,
score.
report card.
I don't know if Dave clocked this or not yet, but in the comments, so we obviously put a couple of comments in. Just check 310, Dave, because I knew the way it showed up in the spreadsheet was you weren't going to be able to see it, and you could only see the first 4 words.
No. I did see it, and I had to change it to accommodate text rather than just So I accommodated that.
The entire lyric.
Fun fact: one of my very few talents is that I can sing that from memory. I think I've done it before, absolutely standing with you in a karaoke booth.
I was going to say, I think we have done it. I think that was the same time we were nearly thrown out for being very shirtless. And yeah, I don't see what's wrong with that. I pay for that booth for 3 hours. I can take my top off.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 3 grown men locking themselves in a room with loud music, dim lighting, and removing items of clothing, mate. No problem at all.
Yeah, that was a good birthday, though. I have to admit, that was a really
It was. Pictures on the Instagram later.
No. Oh, so it's looking tight at the top of the leaderboard, but my favourite place to look is always the bottom of the leaderboard.
What have we got down there?
This and that, really.
Animal Cross's poor performance there.
Yeah, it's Hannah.
They are miles off. Have they given up at some point?
No, I think she's still going.
She's done well in the music round. Is that because she's dating you and she has to listen to your shite music?
It might be, but I would have thought she would have done better in the Billy Joel round, seeing as I've been listening to We Didn't Start the Fire on a loop for about 3 days.
Should we have a look and see if she got that connection right at least? Where's it gone? No, they put lol, all of my answers are wrong. Which was wrong in itself because she got 2 answers right.
Yeah, you go believe in yourself. Let's have a look. Oh, Bruce Springsteen and the rectal prolapse is on 34 this week. Not doing too bad. Peter Pandora. It's a good spread. It's a good spread. But as we all know, things can all change in the last round, can't they, Dave?
On the topic of Bruce Springsteen, we went through our previous databases that we've gone through. So we do keep all the data at the end because we don't use it. And we found that the names he's been submitting. So we've had Bruce Springsteen and his purple-headed warrior, Bruce Springsteen and the anal warts, Bruce Springsteen and his anal fissures. His first one was Bruce Springsteen and the butt plugs. Today he's Bruce Springsteen and the rectal prolapses, and we've also had Bruce Springsteen and his bleached starfish.
So we can't wait to see what he comes up with for our dirty quiz next week.
Tweet us your favourite. I think Twitter already on our case.
I've got an idea, don't worry. Leave the social media to me. It's always a scary
That's what terrifies me.
I know. It's bad, isn't it? Right. We should probably get on with the quiz then. One last round. One team in front. I wonder how this is going to play out. Right. We're on to round number 6. This is where in the world. So for each of these answers, apart from the last one, we're looking for the city. Not the country. We're looking for the city, unless explicitly said otherwise. So question number 1 in what city would you find the seat of the United Arab Emirates government and the Supreme Petroleum Council? That's question number 1. In what city would you find the seat of the United Arab Emirates government and the Supreme Petroleum Council? Which really does sound like something out of Star Wars, doesn't it? Question number 2. In which city would or will you find the Temple of Heaven and the Summer Palace? That's question number 2. In which city would you find the Temple of Heaven and the Summer Palace? And no, we're not talking about the strip clubs that Dave often goes to. He's on mute, so he can't even say anything back. Question number 3. Which city would you have found the 1932 and the 1984 Summer Olympics? That's question 3. In which city would you have found the 1932 and the 1984 Summer Olympics? Question number 4. Which capital city, apart from Buenos Aires, would you find on the estuary of the Rio de la Plata? That's question number 4. Which capital city, apart from Buenos Aires, would you find on the estuary of the Rio de la Plata? I believe that's a river. Question number 5. In which city would you find networks of small alleyways called snickleways? That's question 5. In which city would you find a network of small alleyways named snickleways? Boom.
Thank you very much. So remember, we're looking for the cities for most of these. There's the word city or countries in every one of these questions. Question number 6. Which city would you find the seasonal port of Kabara? It's on the Niger River? In which city would you find the seasonal port of Kabara on the Niger River? Question number 7, slightly easier one. Which city is the world's most... Which city is the world's southernmost capital of a sovereign state and shares its name with a foot covering? So, which city is the world's southernmost capital of a sovereign state and shares its name with a foot covering? Question number 8. Which city is the principal home, so I imagine it's prints out of it, to Europe's busiest metro system? Question 8. Which city is the principal home to Europe's busiest metro system?
You know, Dave, out of all the questions that we've asked tonight, that's the one that gives me the most dread. Because I remember what happened the last time we asked a question about transit.
No, never goes well.
I know. It's bad when you have to get the authority of Jeff involved, but also made me feel quite special. So,
or in the case of the previous quiz, just asking Transport for London, who did agree with us. Let's be clear, they agreed with us.
They did.
Question number 9. In which city would you find beaches called Saint Sebastian, Bogatel, and Nova Icaria? Icaria. In which city would you find... Oh, fuck off, sorry. In which city would you find beaches called Saint Sebastian, Bogatel, and Nova Icaria? And lastly, question number 10. In which country would you find the first ever Legoland? So hopefully a little easier. In which country would you find the first ever Legoland? So if we have to get the authorities involved in that one, it could be a mess. I am absolutely bricking it. Hey!
Oh God, Dave, that was awful. Why did I come up with that?
I built it up and everything.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, I'll run through those questions in order once again. Question 1. In which city would you find the seat of the United Arab Emirates government and the Supreme Petroleum Council? Question number 2. In which city can you find the Temple of Heaven and the Summer Palace? I'd argue they sound more like kebab shops. Question number 3. In which city would you have found the 1932 and 1984 Summer Olympics? Question number 4. Which capital city, aside from Buenos Aires, would you find on the estuary of the Rio de la Plata? Question number 5. In which city would you find a network of small alleyways called Sniggleways? Question number 6. Which city would you find on the seasonal port of Cabara on the Niger River? Question number 7. Which city is the world's southernmost capital of a sovereign state and shares its name with a foot covering? Question number 8. Which city is the principal home to Europe's busiest metro system? Question number 9. In which city would you find beaches called San Sebastián, Bogatel, and Nova Icaria? And last number 10. In which country would you find the first ever Legoland?
Good set of questions, that. But
Well, you wrote them. You would say that.
I know.
Personally, I reckon that the second round had a better set of questions, but we can disagree.
Oh, that's part of the fun.
Remember, if you want to tell us which questions are shite and which questions you really like, you go on the Your Score page, there's a little like button that we've completely forgotten I ever wrote. Ages I did. And nobody clicks it. Please, somebody click my button. It's pointless otherwise.
Yeah, click all the buttons. Make Dave happy.
Yeah, click everything.
Yeah, click it all. Click it all. We're going to have a couple of minutes before we will mark that and bring you the final leaderboard of tonight in what might be the final real quiz for a while. Who knows? You have to keep an eye out, won't you? But we'll be back very shortly and we'll tell you who has won this week's pub quiz streams. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a tie break, haven't we, Dave?
We've got a tie break. We have prepared a question. We have prepared a way of doing this, but we just don't know how to do it very often.
No, we
Bear
don't.
with us.
So, Quentin Quarantino and OK Fine, I admit I may have a drinking problem, but at least I'm still social distancing. Only you need to refresh and look at round 7 for our tie break. That is only you need to do that. It's pretty simple. No one else needs to answer it. Just Quentin Quarantino and OK Fine, I admit it, I may have a drinking problem, who are both tied on 57 points out of 60. Bad luck to Fuck the Detty Pigs, though. 56, 1 point off. And 4 teams, Hides in Isolation, Gavin and Stacey, Mission Quiz Possible and Quiz Akabusi, all on 55. Normally, that would be a winning score, but not this week. Not this week at all. So, the rules of this tiebreak are very simple, and they are quite strict as well. We're only going to give you 15 seconds to get your answers in, so make sure that you have your tabs open now.
Yeah. So if you haven't already, refresh your page. It should now give you a 7th tab, which is unlocked. Like it says there, this is
for Quentin
only
Quarantino.
for... Yeah, if you're not these people, don't worry. Anyone can do it, but we're going to completely ignore you. So only if you're Quentin Quarantino and OK Fine, blah, 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 social distancing. And we want the answer sent in. And we will give 1 point in this round to the closest. That's the closest in either direction. And, absolute value. So it'll make sense when we're pushing it.
It will. So we're looking for the closest number to this question. And we will only say it once. And from when I have said it, you'll have 15 seconds to get your answer in. Really is tight this week. So, closest to, for those 2 teams. In decibels, what is the world record value for the loudest cat purr? Like I said, you're only hearing it once. Time.
You might want to say that again. I lost you a bit there. I don't know if it was just our FaceTime call or if it was you.
Okay, I'll say it
Let's do it one more time.
In decibels, what is the world record value for the loudest cat purr? 10 seconds to get those answers in. I'm looking eagerly over at Dave to see.
We've got one. I don't actually know what the correct answer is. That's really.
You don't need to know. Oh, you do. You're doing.
I do need to know because I need to know which ones what they're closest to.
Have we got the second one in, Dave?
Ooh.
Because if
they've given the same answer. They've both given the same answer.
And what answer is that?
So they've both given the answer of 68.
Well, they're both sort of right, aren't they? So we're going to have to go for a more.
I'll dig out a previous tiebreak.
Don't worry, Dave. I've got one.
Oh, great.
You want to see if they can win? Simple as
Can
this.
you text me the answer then?
Yeah, I will. I have got some coins in my hand. Yeah, okay. I'm going to show.
Last week.
I'm going to show the coins. I'm going to flash them up in front of the screen, and whoever gets closest to the correct value of cash that I have wins.
They could just pause it, right?
They could, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. Right, you ready? Okay.
This is the world's worst tiebreak, mate.
This is the world's best tiebreaker, I think.
So, if you're playing this strange game, you can update your answer with not marked it. So, if you change the value and send it back in, it will update for us.
Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to send the answer through to you. As we said, 15 seconds to get that through. Dave, do we have answers?
I've got your answer, and I've got... No, I'm still missing one. Unless they're going with 68 for both. Quentin Quarantino, we still don't have your answer.
Better be quick.
They've both put the same answer. They both put £3. The correct answer was £3.10.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's grab our some previous quiz questions out of our spreadsheets.
Oh my god, this is a travesty. How do we keep getting the same answer?
Okay, this is from our not safe for work tiebreaker that we had a few weeks ago. We never used it though.
Okay.
So I want to know, and this is a really obscure number, if they get it dead right, I will kick them out for cheating. Every minute, how many hours of porn are watched on Pornhub? So, every minute, how many hours of porn are watched on Pornhub? This is according to Pornhub's 2019 statistics, which we looked through in depth.
Again, 10 seconds, start now. God, Dave.
So, each minute, how many hours of pornography are watched on Pornhub?
Okay, Dave, have we got answers?
Just waiting. Obviously, there's a bit of a delay on this because how the world works at the minute. I feel like one team might have thrown a towel in here.
Go on. What have we got? We've got to be strict with the time if they're not in by now.
Well, hang on. Let me just check something because one team's put in minutes, so I'm going to turn that into hours unless you change it. That's the drinking problem team.
Okay.
Although we're still waiting, so we've got 700,000 and 11,000 minutes.
Right, there's a difference in those answers. For once, there's a difference.
There is a difference in those answers. The correct answer... Okay, 75 hours has changed to, thank you. So the correct answer is, in 1 minute, 11,082 hours of pornography are watched.
Yeah.
The team was 75. That is, okay, fine, I might have a drinking problem, blah, 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 social distancing. You are closest. The other team are only about 600,000 out.
Well, there we go. We have a winner. Finally. Well done.
Nightmare. So we've updated the leaderboard.
Free tie breaks. Free tie breaks.
I know. It's almost like you're waving some coins at a camera was a shit tie break, mate. So with in third place we had 56 out of 60 was Fuck the Dirty Pigs. The final scoreboard now is 57 out of 61 Quentin Quarantino and 58 out of 61. Okay, fine, I admit I may have a drinking problem, but at least I'm still social distancing after 3 tie breaks.
That's a lot of tie breaks.
It's stressful.
It is. Well, thank you to everyone that has played this week. Well done again to Okay, fine, I admit it, I may have a drinking problem, but at least I'm still social distancing. And do join us next week, where we're going to go out with a bang.
Yeah, the second coming of the naughty pub quiz.
Yeah.
We're back, sack and crack.
And if you want to see more of that, join us next week at 8:30 p.m. Slightly later time, so we're a bit closer to the watershed. And it will be our final goodbye for this season of pub quiz streams, at least, I think. And,
absolutely, yeah, we're going to have a bit of a break after that.
We are. So thank you all for playing, and we'll see you all for our last shebang next week. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.